Hey there, Gary here, GK Aquatics, with another video for you. The other day I was asked, what do I need to start a new aquarium? Somebody who's never done it before, what do I need to do to be successful with my first aquarium? And I started going through things and I said, you know what, I'm just going to make a video. So here it is. Okay, number one thing you need for a successful aquarium is patience. You have to have patience. It's going to take a while. Most people who, when they're first starting out, they're not really sure what they're doing and they don't want to do a whole lot wrong. So they don't want to spend, $1,000 to find out, well, it's just not really for me. So here's another way to do it. So one thing you definitely need is an aquarium. Now there's a couple ways to go out getting the aquarium. Some are better than others. Like you can go to yard sales. You go to a yard sale, sometimes you can pick up aquarium, the hood, the lights, sometimes a power filter, all that for a good price. Now a couple things you want to watch out for. Obviously, you don't want one that looks like it's damaged in any way. Because if it's damaged, it probably won't seal and it may leak. Another thing you want to watch out for is when you go to pick it up, if they have stuff like heat lamps and heat rocks and stuff like that, that may be indications that there were reptiles in there rather than fish. You do not want that. I don't know firsthand, but everything I've read on the internet says the urine from those animals gets into the silicone. It does not come out, you can't get it out, and it will poison fish forever. So, as a precaution, if I see one with those items in it, I walk right past it. I won't even buy it. Another way you can do is places like Petco and stuff like that sometimes have a $1 a gallon sale. You can get a $10 aquarium, a 10-gallon aquarium for $10. The downside with that is that does not come with the hood, the light, the power filter, or anything else. It doesn't come with anything else. So those are your trade-offs. It's brand new, but you have to buy everything else separately. Yard sales, though, a lot of times you can get all the power filters and lights and all that stuff for a really good price. Okay, the next thing you want is some kind of filtration. Now, there's a couple ways to go about the filtration. You can get a power filter, which are okay. This aquarium right here, I started out with a small power filter on it. I did not like it because it was too much flow from my betta. He is much happier now with the sponge filter. Now the sponge filter and the little air pump, which I'm going to tell you, I got the air pump from Aquarium Co-op. They're like $8 and silent. This sits next to our bed. It is silent. This little thing right here, silent. But you do need some kind of filtration. Just something, even this, see, it gets the water moving. See, it gets just something to get the water moving and some kind of a place for the biological bacteria to grow. This has a lot on the sponges here. Next on the list, we have a heater. Do you need a heater? Everybody in the world who sells heaters is going to tell you, yes, you need a heater. Truth is, if you keep your house anywhere from 72 to 78 degrees, most fish are fine with that. This aquarium does not have a heater on it. Some of mine do, some of mine don't. Now, the exceptions to those rules, of course, are warm water fish. I have a discus aquarium that I keep at 85 degrees. Yes, I have 2 heaters in it. But these, even if they fluctuate a little, it's not going to be a fast fluctuation. They'll be fine. They've been fine. They're thriving. They're doing great. So do you need a heater? Probably not. That's probably $40 right there you can save by not getting something you don't need. Now, substrate. That's the stuff in the bottom. And this one, it's black sand. Do you need substrate? My opinion, no. No, you don't need substrate. You really don't. My discus aquarium was bare bottom, no substrate, until the discus grew up and I just put some in. I got another video. You can look on my channel and you can see it was a major change I made to my discus aquarium. I put substrate in it. But no, you don't need it. That'll save you money there. There's a couple other ways you can go around it. about it. It's not that expensive, but if you're just starting out, do you really need it? No. How about a lid? Do you need a lid on your aquarium? On the top there, I have lids on all my aquarium. That being said, I know a lot of people who don't have a lid on a single aquarium. Me personally, I can't stand evaporization. I hate when the water level drops because it's evaporating. It drives me absolutely insane. So I keep all mine with lids on them. Do you need to? Yeah, no. Unless, now make sure you do your research. If you plan on having fish that are jumpers, oh, you definitely want a lid on there. Also, a lot of times, like this one has the lights built right into it, and some others have a place to put a light on top. And that brings me to the next thing. Do you really need a light right away? You don't, but it helps speed things up, and I'll get to that in a moment. You need a stand. Okay, this is in our bedroom. It's sitting on our nightstand. Here is the thing. A 10-gallon aquarium with substrate and 10 gallons of water weighs 100 pounds. A 20-gallon aquarium weighs 200 pounds. They are not light. 100 pounds? Yes, we're good with this. My personal opinion, anything larger than a 10-gallon, I put on a dedicated aquarium stand that's designed for that size. That's me. Have I done it with other things? Sure I have, but I prefer not to. You can see this aquarium has plants in it. Do you need plants? Absolutely not. You don't need plants. But plants are going to help your cycle and the overall health of your aquarium, not to mention the appearance. But do you need them? No, not really. You're going to need some kind of fish food. When you go to cycle your aquarium, there's several ways to do it. I can only speak on a couple of those ways because I've only actually done it one way myself. Well, 2 ways. Yes, I've done it 2 different ways, which I have shown in other videos, but I'll go through the process here. So you will need some fish food. Do you need fish right away? Now, here's the thing. You do not want to fully stock your aquarium right off the bat because you're starting out with a cold tank. It doesn't have a cycle. It's going to go through some chemical changes that are really going to be bad for fish. So the lower the number of fish you have, you won't have as wide swings in those chemicals of ammonia, nitrate, and nitrates. You're going to be doing water changes. You do need a gravel vac. A gravel vac. You got to have one. It's just a little siphon tube. You stick it down in there and saddle out. Even if you're going bare bottom, you still need the gravel vac to get all the fish waste and anything else that accumulates on the bottom. Get all that junk out of there. You're also going to need a bucket. You want a clean bucket that's never had soap in it. If I remember right, if you go to Walmart in the automotive section, you can get a brand new, I want to say it's a 10-quart bucket for like $3. That's what I would do. And if you go over to the fish section, even if your Walmart doesn't have fish anymore, they should still sell the pet items. Just get the small gravel vac from there if you're doing a 10-gallon tank to start with. If you have city water, you're going to need to dechlorinate it. I have not used dechlorinator myself because I'm on a well, so I have no reason to do that. Some people also use an ammonia locking agent. I don't know any brands offhand, but what it does is it detoxifies the ammonia that builds in there as the tank is trying to cycle, and it detoxifies it and makes it so it's not so bad for your fish. That I could kind of recommend. I haven't had to do that in a long time, so I really can't name any brands right offhand. They should sell that at Walmart or any pet store. Some people are also going to tell you that There's a couple companies that make a product. It's bacteria in a bottle. It's nitrifying bacteria in a bottle. And you put that and it helps speed up your cycle on a new aquarium. Now, I've heard mixed reviews. I've heard some people say it works great. It cuts the cycle time in half. Other people have said it does absolutely nothing. Do your research. See what you need to do there. You want to do lots of research. It can actually be fun. I do it all the time still. Like I said, be patient. The cycle I was telling you about, there's two ways that I do the cycling process in my new aquariums. One I don't do anymore because I don't have to. But my very first one, what I did, I left something else out. I left something out very important. Test kit. You are going to need a test kit. Absolutely. You want one that tests for ammonia, nitrites, and nitrates. There's a couple of reasons you want that, because you want to see where you are in your cycling process. Now, if you have a brand new aquarium and you want to start the cycling process, what you could do is buy one fish, a hardy fish, of something that you want to keep so you don't have to get rid of it later. Stick it in there. Oh, something else I left out too. Even if you're using a power filter rather than a sponge filter, I would still highly recommend an air stone. At least get some air in there. I run air on all my aquariums now because I've found when some of my fish were a little, I just had the flashing from the power filter and I'm like, oh, that's good enough. When I put an air stone in there, it brought those fish to life. I don't know how, I don't know why, but for some reason they just seem to have more energy. Now I run them in all my aquariums. Okay, so what you do is you put that one fish in there, you got your filter going. You can have absolutely nothing else in there if you don't want it. Put your one fish in there and wait. And what I would start doing is, after about 2 days, you take your ammonia test kit, because you bought your water test kit. Amazon or eBay has pretty good prices on those, so check them out. I forget, I've had mine so long. So what you're going to want to do is, after about 2 days of having that one fish in there, check your ammonia. You're not going to have any nitrites or nitrates yet. Don't even worry about those yet. You're going to have some ammonia. Hopefully by the second day, it should start registering just a little bit. You're still not going to do anything. About the fourth day, you're going to check it again. Note where it was the second day, and then the fourth day, note it again. And it should be going up. Now, at this point, actually the whole time you're doing it, watch your fish for signs of stress. If at any time he's up at the surface gasping for air, do a 50% water change. Grab your gravel vac, put it in, and drain water into your bucket. Don't overflow it. And put water back in. Now, when you go to put water back in, let's say you did, this is a 10-gallon aquarium, let's say you did 5 gallons. You took 5 gallons out, you put 5 gallons in. But what I always recommend, if you have to dechlorinate for the entire 10 gallons. Not just the 5 that you're replacing, the entire 10. What I recommend is you take your 5 gallons out, put your dechlorinator in, enough for 10 gallons, then fill it back up. Okay, keep an eye on your ammonia, like I said, about the 4th day, and then you're going to want to start checking your nitrites. Your nitrites will come in later. I have a video on this whole cycling process, and they're all over the place. They're good. It's really not that hard. Now, as your ammonia will start going down, and your nitrites will start going up. This is also very toxic to fish, so also keep an eye for signs of stress. It'll be okay. And I know nobody wants a dead fish, but if that one fish dies, it's really not the end of the world. Go get another one. Okay, now your ammonia will go all the way down till it's nothing. Then your nitrites come up, and then you start testing for nitrates. When you start seeing nitrates, and you're still keeping an eye on the health of your fish, your nitrites, that's the second one. Nitrites will start going down. When those get to zero, so you have zero ammonia, zero nitrite, and some nitrates, then your cycle is complete. Anytime you test, ammonia and nitrites should always be zero after that. Now, there's a couple ways to jumpstart this. If you have a friend that has a cycled aquarium, an established aquarium, ask if you can borrow one of his old filter pads and just throw it in there. It will jumpstart that cycle. Or what I do in my 75, I actually keep sponge filters running in the sump. It has a sump underneath, but I keep sponge filters running just so I can cycle new aquariums, which is why ever since the first one, I haven't had to cycle an aquarium in a long time. I've actually had it happen by accident. That's in another one of my videos called Surprise Cycle. I did it by accident. Another way you can cycle your aquarium is what they call fishless cycling. Oh, that other method can take about a month. That's why I said be patient. It's okay. Let it take a month. You're going to have this aquarium for years. It's just your first one. Trust me. You'll have more. Now, fishless cycling, basically what you're going to do is ghost feed. You're going to take a little bit of fish food. Now, there's no fish in there. No fish. But every day, you're just going to feed a little. And what's going to happen is that food, since it's not getting eaten, is going to start breaking down. And it will turn into ammonia. And it will go through the whole cycling process, but it will take longer. It'll take a lot longer. Like I said, the best way I know to do it is to get some media that's already from a cycled, established aquarium, put it in there, drop a fish in there, boom. It's cycled. For all intents and purposes, it's cycled. Now, even once it's cycled, you don't want to go, okay, I'm going to add 20 fish, because that's going to cause at least a mini cycle, if not a complete crash, and have to cycle all over again. Like, this is a bad example because it's a small aquarium and it's just got a betta and 6 neon tetras. But let's say you got a 55-gallon aquarium. I would start with like 2 zebra danios. Just go with that. Then, after it's completely cycled, add 2 of whatever else you wanted to keep. Maybe 2 guppies. Alright, let it go for a couple more weeks. Wait a while between each time you add fish for the cycle to catch up, because the bacteria needs time to grow to catch up to the demands that's being placed on it. And that's it. So find you a nice sturdy place, fill it up, dechlorinate, cycle your tank. Plants help a lot, especially if you buy plants from somebody who has a cycled aquarium. It'll help. Now, how are you going to know if your aquarium is cycled? The only way you can tell if your aquarium is cycled is with the test kit. That's the only way you'll know. You'll have 0 ammonia, 0 nitrite, and some nitrates. All right, if you have any other questions, put down in the comments down below. I'll answer them as quick as I can. Remember to like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends. If you subscribe to my channel, hit that bell, that notification bell, lets you know every week when a new video comes out. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time. Remember, hit that like button. Helps me a lot.